So welcome to March Mindfulness. We're going to do a little bit of writing this morning and then do some just sitting with what is that we kind of uncover and find when we're doing that writing. And we're pulling some ideas from Julia Cameron's book, Finding Water. So it's like the book right after Artist's Way, if you were looking in those. But it's a chapter on optimism. And I've been thinking a lot about this idea of optimism. And if you're just joining the meeting, I'm recording, but I have my picture pinned. So just know that you're secretive. I can see all your faces, but no one else can. And we're just going to do a little bit of writing. So I'm going to read to you this first sort of conjuring up of hopefully some things that will help us to conjure up an optimistic spirit in this time. So the first one is to think about people who encourage you. So we're just going to make a list. And you can number, Julia Cameron often suggests that you write the numbers first so you have the clear list. And I would say try to make a list of 10 people if you can. Sometimes I find it hard to think of several people because I'm just a little bit more of a private person, but you might be able to think of a lot more than 10 people. Make a list of people you go to for encouragement. These people are your believing mirrors. They may not be artists themselves, they don't need to be, but they believe in you. And when she's talking about artists, she's always talking about creativity sort of as like the source of the whole universe. So when we're being artists and we're tapping into our creativity, we're tapping into these things that awaken this flow of life in us. You are part of what they believe in. They reflect back to you your competency and potential. They are on your side and bring to your discussion a sense of optimism and hope. So my dad is actually a very loving person, but so often when things are brought up to him, the first thing he says is, that'll never work. And then he has all these reasons why it won't work. So he would maybe not be my first believing mirror that I would go to. You owe it to yourself to be in regular contact with these individuals. Some of the names on your list may be people with whom you've fallen out of contact. And this is her encouragement of after you make this list, to try to reach out to these people so that you would have this list at a point when you need a little encouragement. And I'm thinking of this today. So she's talking about when you feel blocked. And I think of this as when we're feeling blocked emotionally for whatever reasons, not just because we're blocked in our creativity as artists trying to make something new in the world, but when we're feeling blocked, we can go to these people. So I'm going to give you about a minute. If you just joined in, we're just making a list of people we can go to for encouragement. So the people that give us a sense of optimism and hope about our own abilities and our ability to take part in this larger universe that we're part of. And I'll be quiet now so you can actually write. We'll just take just a little bit longer if there's somebody else that pops into your mind, even if it's, I would say at this point too, if it's somebody that you find encouragement from who is no longer with us, or is a character in a book or a celebrity that you don't actually have contact with, like just really looking for what is it, somebody that really helps you to believe in yourself, that believing mirror, that when you look to that person, you have a sense of believing more strongly in your own ability and the optimism of bringing that forward. And we're just finishing up creating a list of people that we find encourage us. And I'm just going to ask you if you feel like you can put your pen down, just pause for a moment and put your pen down. And sit with that list and that information. If you are really on a roll and want to write something down, I totally understand. But if it's possible to sit, maybe even put your hand on your heart or somewhere on your body, closing your eyes and tapping into any feeling that might come up from conjuring this list of names of people that offer you encouragement. And then also really noticing if there's people on your list that you can reach out to, how often when we reach out to someone and they can give us that encouragement, it flows both ways. So this would be the way that the universe is working reciprocally, that you would be giving them something as well to reach out and talk to them in that space when you feel blocked. And then just really noticing before we move on to thinking about one more thing that we're going to write about, just noticing again how you're feeling and making space for whatever it is that you might be feeling, any emotions or thoughts that might be here, really noticing and allowing them the space to be here. And then we'll take an inhale together and then just exhale out your mouth, letting that go, sighing it away, blink your eyes open. I'm going to give us one more exercise in building optimism. And this one is about the ways that we often are our own wet blanket, that we're blocking ourselves or discouraging ourselves. So I'm just going to read to you this paragraph from Julia Cameron's book. Very often we are our own wet blanket. We do not allow ourselves to see and seize our opportunities. This is designed to catch you off guard and allow you to see your coulds rather than your shoulds. Take pen in hand and number from 1 to 10. So we're making a list again. And try to put the numbers there ahead of time so that you can fill it in as quickly as possible. So some of this writing is able to get under to the subconscious a little bit just because we try to do it so quickly. And then next to each number, write, I could try. And then we're going to fill in that sentence. So 1 through 10, and then write, I could try. And then we're filling in the blank with whatever comes to mind. So I would suggest writing out, I could try 10 times, and then go back to the top. And the first thing that comes to your mind, something that it is that you felt discouraged about, and you perhaps feel like it's not something that you can do any longer, but there's a little bubbling out, and it comes out, I could try something or other. And we're aiming towards this space of unblocking your flow, putting your creativity in the world, idea of like opening to some optimism, even in a space where there might be a lot of heaviness or darkness. So try to write very rapidly and don't concern yourself with any practicality. Like it does not have to be something that you're actually going to do today in any sort of way. Just, I could try. We'll take about a minute here. We're just trying to write as quickly as possible, so we're just going to take about 20 more seconds. See if you can fill in your list of 10, even if it's some nonsense that lands in there, writing as quickly as possible so that the subconscious can start to come to the surface. And then when you feel done with your list of 10, and if you still have some to write, that's fine, but some of you have pens stopped. So when you feel done, just placing the hand on your body again and closing your eyes and sitting with whatever it is that's present for you when you're thinking of the possibilities, the potential. Maybe things you're trying again after failing once or twice. Or something you've just never done that you want to try. And as you're pausing afterward, making space for whatever it is that might have come up for you, just acknowledging it, looking at it, noticing if there's any new possibilities that are arising. And then remembering that you have that list of people that can encourage you. So if there's something you'd like to try but it feels really impossible to you, it might be something you want to talk to the encouraging voices. Try it out and see if it's something that can come forward. I'm just going to transition from this contemplation to a very short meditation seat. So if you want to be in your chair, you absolutely can. Just take about 2 minutes in meditation. So meaning just 2 minutes in mindful stillness, however you want to be. And if it's helpful for you to keep a hand on your body, you could keep a hand on your body or put a hand on your belly. You could also just rest the hands in your lap. And we'll just pay attention to the breath. And I'm going to talk you into an even counted breath. So you can exhale your air out and then inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5. And if that feels strained at all, feel free to breathe on your own time. Inhale for 5. And then maybe hold the breath in for just a pause and then exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe hold the breath out for just a pause and then inhale for 5. Maybe you're holding the breath for just a beat before you exhale, never to the point of strain. And this time when you inhale, if it feels fine to increase to 6, inhale for 6. Maybe you hold the breath for just a moment at the top and then exhale slowly and with control for 6. Maybe you hold the breath out for just a moment at the bottom. We'll take 3 more rounds of even, steady breath. If the counting is helpful to you, continue counting. Start at the number and go down. One more round of that even, steady, mindful breath. And when you finish with this exhale, just allow the breath to come into a little more of a natural flow. Bring your attention into the center of the chest. See if you can soften that space, soften a little of the effort. There's a quote by Albert Einstein: "There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." Moving into that idea of optimism, just setting an intention for your day that you might witness one or more simple miracles in your day. Just bow your chin towards your chest, closing up that short time with yourself.